that face, cinch that waist, turn up the bass. Now glue that lace and make them faint.
Hello all and welcome back. I am super proud of this look, so we are going to jump right into it. As you see, I already started to fill in my brows. I'm filling them in. I am brushing them upward. As I get to the center, I'm going straight up, making like brow-like strokes. We want it to mimic brow hairs, so we brush straight up. And then I just make sure that in between I am brushing with my spoolie. We want it to be a nice even layer of pencil. So now I'm just going in with the Morphe brow gel, and I'm just going to fill in the brows just to define them a little more. And as always, I am concealing the brows. I love it for it to have that, you know, that sharp, precise look, very crisp. So I went in with my LA Pro Girl concealer in medium beige. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on the other side as well. Just conceal it, make it look nice and sharp. Don't forget that these eyebrows are not twins, they are sisters. And then I do switch colors when I conceal the top, just to use something that's a little closer to my complexion, because I do like for underneath my brows to be a little highlighted. So on the top, I'm going to go ahead and fill in with the color Fawn. Okay, now here is where I am going to go in with the Fawn and just outline the top of the brows. Yeah, the bottom was struggling a little bit, so I just went ahead and fixed that little part. But then I did the same thing on the other eye. And just look how much of a difference concealing around the brows make. Like, they look so crisp. Clearly I'm feeling it. I was loving where these brows were going. I don't always like my brows. I'm not going to say that I don't always like them. I do like them, however, they're not always as even. And then especially being as though we are in quarantine, so I haven't had my brows waxed in a while. So this was good for me because I didn't have a guideline at all. So I kind of just, you know, filled in the brows and concealed around them. And I was just happy with the way that these brows turned out. Then as you see, I go in with my Makeup Forever foundation brush and just kind of just blend that all out. This brush is amazing. I got this set as a gift from one of my co-workers, which, I mean, I absolutely love this brush set. So if you can get your hands on some Makeup Forever brushes, definitely do so. It's a good investment. You will definitely love it. But yeah, I'm just blending out that concealer around the brows. Just always blend, blend, blend. And then I go ahead and I take my spoolie and I kind of just brush the center of my brows so that they don't have that boxy shape. I like for it to kind of, like, you know, just fade. We want it to look like a natural brow. So I am blending out the concealer a little more. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, we did that. And if you are watching and loving my hair clips that say Erica Rook, on Instagram you can follow Caught Clipped. She made these clips for me and I absolutely love them. She does customize them and they are absolutely amazing. So definitely make sure you check out that page on Instagram. Okay, so the concealer that I used underneath my brow, I just dragged that down. I covered my whole eyelid with it and I used that as my primer. From that point, I went on and took a neutral shade from my Anastasia Soft Glam palette. And I covered the whole lid just as a, you know, transition color. just to kind of set that concealer in place. And then I went ahead and I started adding my color. I did put it up a little high because I decided at this point that I wanted to do a cut crease. I wasn't really sure where I was going with this look, but I just started placing my color. I went ahead and did the same exact thing to the other eye. Always make sure you go in with a soft hand because you can always build up. But if you put too much, it's hard to take it off. So definitely just build your color. But now I am going in with burgundy, but a little bit darker, just to deepen up what's going to be our crease. So I'm just blending, 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 adding color as I go. And then here is where I took a brown color and decided to just cut the crease. I was going to do it a little rounder, but I think at some point I was like, you know what? Let me just wing this out a little bit. So that's what I did with the brown. I placed the color where I wanted it, and then I'm going to go back in a little later and kind of just blend it with that brown color. Here I am using it's a flat It Cosmetics brush. But now I'm using the It Cosmetics crease brush, and I'm just blending that brown out. So I placed it, and now I'm blending. Now from this point, I'm not really sure why I didn't darken my crease a little more, but for whatever reason, I just stopped and I went ahead and I started to carve out my crease with the LA Pro Girl white mixing pigment. I love to put this down before I do my eyeshadow because it makes the colors just pop. But all the pigment is there, like it just makes the shadow look so pigmented. So if you can get your hands on the mixing pigment, LA Pro Girl, it is amazing. They definitely, but they do sell it at Ulta Beauty. So if you can grab that, definitely do so. So this is when I decided to just wing it out. When I tell you I was not sure where I was going with this look, I had absolutely no idea. I was kind of just going off the top of the dome, just doing whatever feels right. And makeup, that's just what you do. I feel like it's art. So just let it go wherever your little wrist leads, you know? Just follow the flick of the wrist. At this point, I went from the Soft Glam palette because I thought I wanted to do a Soft Glam cut crease. And then I just, like, in the middle of it, changed my mind. So I moved on to the Alyssa Edwards Anastasia palette. I started packing the yellow on. It wasn't as bright as I wanted, so I went in with the Huda Beauty orange neon palette and used the yellow out of there to just kind of, you know, pack on that inner corner, just to brighten it up a little bit. And I think it definitely did the job. The combination between the two was just perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. This point, I just got a little flat brush. These brushes I ordered off of Amazon. Honestly, don't even remember the brand, but it came in a pack of probably like 15 brushes, in which they are absolutely amazing. But this is, yeah, a little flat brush, so I used it to pack on the pink color. And then I was trying to figure out what direction I wanted to go. Or if I was just going to fill in the rest of the lid with the pink. And I just decided to, you know, just bring it down and then wing it out. From that point, I went on and I just added the blue just to finish up the color. It's like a bluish purple looking color. So I just added that and just kind of winged it out just a little bit. And in my head, I was literally like, oh my goodness, where am I going with this? But I decided, you know what, let's just trust the process. But you know, I have to be honest, after looking at it, I'm like, okay, should I go in and kind of like just blend them all together? And I was like, you know what, no, that's not going to work. So I went ahead and got my glitter glue and just started, you know, packing on that NYX glitter glue and adding glitter. And when I tell you the glitter took this look to the next level, I absolutely like loved it. As soon as I put that yellow on, I knew that I was going somewhere. And I'm working with my eye closed because I just really did not want to get any glitter in my eye because I know that that won't turn out too well. As you see, I started singing again and everything. I started getting happy because I was a little unsure before this point. I did go ahead and do the same thing with the pink and the purple. I added the glitter glue and then placed the glitter on top. Shortly after this point, I realized that I could not find my purple glitter, so I did go ahead and add blue glitter on top of that purple eyeshadow. And then from there, I went ahead with my NYX liner and began to create my wing. I went right across the lash line, and then from the end of the lash line, I just drew a straight line up, and then I just connected the end of that wing to my eyelid. At this point, I went ahead and I repeated the same steps on the other eye. I took my eyeliner and went straight across the lash line, drew a straight line up once I hit the end, and then connected that straight line up, I want to say maybe halfway. So we draw that straight line up, but there was another liquid on the brush. So we draw that straight line up, and then maybe like halfway, go ahead and connect that wing. To the line that we drew across the lash line. At this point, I went ahead and put my mascara on to go ahead and prep my eyelashes for my false lashes. At this point, I was trying to decide what lash I wanted, something a little more subtle, where you could actually see my eyeshadow, or something long and a little more dramatic. I actually ended up going with the more dramatic lashes, but at this point, I went ahead and added glue to my lashes and just dropped them right across the lash line. So I did the same thing for the other eye. I don't use tweezers when I put them on, or a lash applicator. I definitely have a link where you can order one. I'll drop that in the description box. But yeah, I always just place mine right across the lash line with my fingers. I guess I've been doing it for so long, it just comes easy for me. At this point, I went ahead and I added my Strivectin blurring primer. I kind of just tapped this into the skin. It's more of a like wrinkle filling, pore filling primer. It just leaves the skin super smooth. On top of that, I added my Holy Grail L'Oreal Liquid Illuminating highlighter. I always do that over my whole face because it just gives me a nice glow. I don't really like for my foundation to look super matte. I like for it to have a glow. So that's what I do. That's my little secret. At this point, I started applying my foundation. I did use the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the shade 340, and I mixed it with the MAC Matchmaster No. 7 foundation. And those two together just, I mean, it was a flawless application. I love mixing those two foundations together. And for a foundation, I really just like tap, 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 tap. It is a very important step. It is one that you don't want to rush. So definitely take your time with your foundation. I actually went ahead and used a little more because I just wanted to build up the coverage, so it could be flawless, because I knew that I was going to be taking pictures and making videos. So I went in with another layer. Definitely don't forget the neck. But look how flawless the foundation looks. I was absolutely living for this. Like, what? That is MAC and Maybelline mixed. Okay, so now that our foundation has been applied, at this point we want to go ahead and highlight and bring some dimension back to our face. So I'm going in with my LA Pro Girl concealers, the same ones that I used underneath my brows, and I'm just going to bring forward the bridge of my nose, underneath my eyes, forehead, cupid's bow, and chin. Hi Malia, she just peeked through the curtain. That's my niece. And then I also do 2 swipes, one underneath each pretty much jawbone of where we want to contour. So I am going down the sides of my nose just to make it a little bit slimmer, cheekbones, and then across the forehead. And then I'll also do a little swipe on my chin. So I'm going in with my Real Technique sponge, and I am just going to tap out my concealer. Never swipe, always tap. We just want to tap it right into place. We don't want to remove it. So we're going to tap, 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 tap until everything has been pressed into place. Then I'm going to flip my sponge, and I'm going to do the same thing for our dark contour color that we use from our Anastasia foundation stick. I do want to add that you definitely want to take your time blending this in. The last thing you want to do is go out, take a picture, and your contour is not blended. The foundation stick, it does dry pretty fast, so I went ahead and just hit my face with a little setting spray just to mist it, to get it a little moist so that it's easier to blend. And then I went back in and just started blending, but definitely take your time. I never forget, I went out once and I really rushed my makeup, did my contour, didn't blend it well. I will have to insert a picture because I was out looking crazy. And here is that picture. I actually thought I was cute that day, but thank God for growth. Anywho, I went ahead and started adding my Laura Mercier powder, and then I realized, darn, I didn't set my face. So I never set my foundation and concealer, so now I'm going back in with my Maybelline Fit Me powder, press powder, in the shade 330. So I'm going to go ahead and coat my whole face with that. Then I realized that, darn, I didn't blend in that contour on my chin, so I just tapped that in a bit. And then I went back in with my Laura Mercier and just set everywhere that I highlighted. From this point, I went ahead and took my glitter glue and just added some glitter right to underneath my eyelash line. At first I was like, oh, let's smoke it out, and then I was like, you know what, let's do glitter. Go hard or go home. So that's what we did. We went hard, and I went ahead and added that glitter. From this point, I went ahead and added the pink from that Anastasia palette, the same pink we used before, and I just put it on the bottom inner portion of my lash line. After that, I took the shimmer yellow from the Neon Huda Beauty palette, and I just placed that in my inner corner. From this point, our glitter is underneath the eye, so I proceeded to just go ahead and tap in my Laura Mercier powder It's looking a little dry, but that's okay. We're going to hit it with some setting spray and we will be looking like skin again. But I did go in with my Morphe Brontour powder. And all the places that we added that dark contour to shadow, we're going to go ahead and set that with our Morphe powder. And make sure you don't forget about the nose. So I just took a Makeup Forever brush, a small fluffy brush, and just went ahead and contoured down the sides of my nose. Then I took my Morphe highlighter in the shade Lit and just highlighted those cheekbones, down the center of the nose, and my Cupid's bow. Okay, at this point, I said let me fix the one earring that I do have in. And then I went ahead and just really sprayed my face with the setting spray from Urban Decay. And I did add a little Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray to that. Then I was just trying to figure out what to do with my hair. I did a sleek ponytail the night before. I wrapped it up. I did a little braid. It had curly ends, but my scarf came off, so my hair literally just like curled up. So it was supposed to be a really sleek ponytail, and it ended up being something straight, but I just wrapped that in a bun and took it from there. It was cute. Right now I'm just serving eyes, and then I just went ahead and got a Urban Decay lip liner. So I'm going to line my lips with the Urban Decay pencil and then go ahead and use my Too Faced liquid lipstick. But when you take a look at how good these eyes came out, this is one look that I was just super proud of. And then I realized that my line wasn't super straight, so I just took a spoolie and went ahead and tried to clean up some of the glitter that was kind of just all over the place on the bottom. Went ahead in with my It Cosmetics mascara and hit my bottom lash line just to finish up the look. And overall, I was just really pleased with how this look came out. So if you like what you saw today, please like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. And yeah, let's be friends on here. But as you see, I was just really feeling this look. I mean, the eyes were absolutely beautiful. Definitely one of my favorites so far.